Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Outstanding and terrific, but improving.
But improving.
Yeah.
You've swapped your studio over. You're on the other side of the logo. I love it.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be a crybaby about it.
What's in the box?
You know what a crybaby is?
What's in the box?
You don't know what a crybaby is?
No.
Come on, yes you do.
Is it something to do with
The wah-wah pedal.
mu music?
It's the thing that makes the guitar cry.
Oh, I see what you did there. You guitar players it's amazing. You freak me out with your accessories and your stuff. You've seen, when I first saw Marco's pedal board, you've seen it. He carries another whole guitar case, and he has the pedal board on plywood with two handles, and he lifts the whole thing into a guitar case to carry his pedal board.
That's crazy, yeah.
And just the fact that he understands everything is and plugged in, how it all works, and I'm like, I don't get it. So is that crybaby new for you?
No, I saw it back then. I thought it would be funny to say that. You
You
know.
were right. You were right.
So congratulations to the Houston Astros, huh?
Well, I was going to start by saying the baseball season's over. My prediction was not correct. I had the Phillies in 7. I was really hoping they were going to win last night and push it to a game 7. But Houston Astros win, best team in the league. I mean, they were, quite frankly, as we said recently, the best team doesn't always win. It's the team playing the best at the time. And the Philadelphia Phillies had no business even being in there, and they gave them a heck of a run. So it was an awesome series.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the offseason with trades. There's a lot of stuff going to be happening.
So I'm hoping you can help me with something today. I have a very serious situation with me here.
I feel the
Everybody's
pressure,
telling
but I'll do what I can.
everybody's telling me to remember to turn the clock back.
Hmm.
So you know what my problem is? I don't remember where I bought the clock, and I don't have a receipt. So how am I going to turn it back? I don't know which store I bought it at.
Oh,
Wow.
that's funny. That is funny. It's amazing with their technology and iPhones. It just all happens automatically. Then I got to get in the car and drive. I'm like, you know what? I saw something on Facebook this morning about how to update all your devices. Like the smartphone, don't do anything. The car, it said, don't bother, wait 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And then it said your microwave, you'll either need a mechanical and electric degree or a hammer. Remember back in the days of the VCR tapes and the VCR beeping at you with the clock? I'm like, oh my God.
Wow. So yesterday, Terry wanted to go to the flea market. We have a big flea market over here near my house. It's
Nice.
awesome, actually. If you want to spend some time, just walk through, just to see the people there is awesome. It's a good experience.
Yeah.
And there was a guy that was selling. I was actually stunned by this. He was selling stun guns. I was stunned because he was selling stun guns, but I was also stunned by the price of them.
Which was?
I don't know, but I was stunned by it.
It sounds illegal. Is that all right to be selling? How do you do that?
I don't know.
Background checks available on the site or anything like that?
I don't know how that works. I have no idea. I just figured I'd use it as a little bit of a joke.
I had no idea how it works. I'm just stunned by it.
Oh,
Stunned. Wow. So now it's time. Now I can pick up the football season anyway. Now that we're halfway through that, the baseball season's over.
and I'm gonna play a little tune for the Patriots.
Oh, look at that. Very nice. Struggling, right? Patriots and Bucks, our teams are struggling.
So,
It's all right.
since you brought up the Bucks, seems to me that just my opinion, right?
Yep.
But Giselle must be selfish or something. The number one quarterback in the world ever decided to go back one more year, and now he has 2 more months of playing, and she couldn't wait.
Hmm.
Come on, buddy.
Could be another story here.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I have to blame her because
Could be another side of the story. Three sides to every story, as you know.
ouch.
Hey, speaking of which, I since our last podcast last week, I have purchased tickets to the Turkey Jam, and I'm in. So
Hey, that's
I
awesome.
was thrilled. That's it'll be fun. Saturday night of Thanksgiving weekend.
So for you, the investment's not that much.
Well,
For me, it's a different investment. It's tickets, it's a flight.
it's like the chicken and the egg thing, the investment versus the commitment.
Well,
We've all heard that one. But yes, you got flights. Plus, you got to get back in time for your surgery on Monday.
I know.
You thought I forgot? No, no. I'm
No, you're like a good
like a sieve. No,
yeah.
I'll tell you, my mind has been off all week. I have been. You can hear my voice. Me and seems like every other New Englander. There's a crazy cold something. I don't want to call it a flu. It wasn't that bad, but cold going around. And man, is it hanging on? I caught this. Lynn had it like a week ago today, Sunday. And I got home Monday night from work like, oh, and I just crawled into bed at like 5 o'clock. I was literally in bed every day this week by 6 p.m.
Wow.
I got home and I would just get up and try to get out and rally. It's for my thinking was it's easier for me just to try to rally through the day and get my work appointments done than try to reschedule them and take a sick day. It's just
Right. Yeah.
it's less work, you know. But it was almost like your body knew you were rallying. Like, all right, I got to get out of here by 9:45, but I can be home by 4:30, and I can make this happen. And your body almost rallies through it. And my way home from my last appointment, I can feel myself like the fever coming back on. It's almost like your body says, "Okay, I'll let you rally for a few hours. We're going to hit you hard on the way home."
Yeah, that's good.
Friday, I was just doing a couple of running around things, but I was home in bed at 4:30 Friday afternoon. And I got out of bed 14 and a half hours later yesterday at 7, and I worked yesterday as well. And I actually got home from work yesterday early, feeling somewhat, I mean, I'm not okay. I'm not back 100%, but I'm feeling normal. Like I was able to read a book. I had a book I had to return to the library. I finished that. I drove back over to Worcester. I was, doing some stuff. Today, I'm going to take off from here, run around a little bit and do some errands and have some fun. But it's been hanging on it's crazy.
So if you're not feeling like if you don't have a cold or anything, do you have a tough time sleeping, or can you sleep late if you want to?
I think I needed the sleep. My body's fighting something, so I was getting a lot of sleep.
Even as a kid, I never slept much because sometimes we'd go and go to somebody's house. A bunch of kids would stay at somebody's house, and then we'd
Sleep over.
sleep over. I'd be up 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and they're sleeping until 10. I'm like, what the heck? Even now, every night I wake up around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and sometimes if I come out of the bedroom and go into the couch, I can sleep for another 2 hours. But if I stay in bed, I just can't go back to sleep.
Really?
Yeah.
I find that if I get up like that, my brain clicks in. I start thinking, and I'm done. Then I'm up.
So my neighbor told me to take the bed and pull the bed away from the wall, then run
Yeah.
around the bed to catch up with your sleep. That didn't work. I stubbed the frame with my toe, and now it's hurting.
I was reading this week that the purpose of the pinky toe is to make sure that all your furniture's in the right place in your living room.
I saw that. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh, and the other one I saw the other day said, "Don't forget you set your clocks from sunshine and happiness to darkness and misery this weekend."
Why do they still do that? I don't get it.
Oh, but I do like that it's a little lighter in the morning. Like I woke up this morning at 5:30 just because I guess I was just done with sleep. And before, within a half an hour, it was starting to come up and had a nice little. In fact, I took a picture of the sunset. Let me show you this. Look at this little beauty. Where are my pictures? Oh, you know what? I might have. Oh, I did. I'm very efficient. I deleted that already. Anyway, but nice to see some sun earlier in the day. It's going to be rough when it's dark at 5 o'clock this
I
afternoon.
know. I prefer to have the the day longer in the evening. You know, like in the summer here, the sun goes down about 8:45 or something. I love that.
Yeah. Even later, because summertime here it's light until 8:45, which I
Right, right.
love.
One
And
time,
it's
my mother came to visit me when we were in Florida. So she sit in my living room watching TV and stuff, and then she says, "Hey, is that clock right?" I says, "Yeah, it was." She goes, "How come it's still light out?" Because up there, I guess it gets dark around 4:30 or something, right? So she
Oh
said, "How
yeah.
come it's not dark out? You know, it's 5 o'clock and it wasn't dark yet." I says, "We got another 2 hours or so, 3 hours before it gets dark." She goes, "What?" I said, "We're not in the Hudson now, woman."
You know what's funny? I remember I talked to my buddy Ron. You know Ron. I talk to Ron all the time. He's down in Florida with you, and we're always talking about daylight and what's happening because we're both the same time zone. But it's really interesting how much further east we are in the Massachusetts area, and how you guys really cut west down into the Florida.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
it's easily another hour or two of daylight for you than us. But right now it'll be dark this afternoon at about 5, dark, and then it'll get darker earlier every day for the next 6 or 7 weeks. December 21st is the short one, but by then it's dark at 4:15, pitch
Well,
dark.
sorry to interrupt. I'm getting a notification that we have to do a sponsor thing.
Oh my gosh.
Who is it?
Okay, Cross Country Mortgage once again, our sponsor. They're nothing if not consistent with us, huh?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So right now it has cross country. Then we have this on the side on this on the left, and on the right there's no hissy phone. Maybe I can cover
For
this.
all your mortgage needs across the country, the Devon Ash Group. There it is,
No, no, no.
lindevon.com.
Which phone do you want to give up? Do
978-407-9144.
you ever call that number?
Should we call it right now?
Well, isn't she in the same building right now as you?
In building, yeah. She's in the 12th floor of the skyscraper, yes.
Well, there we go. She's an awesome lady, and
There it is.
she needs a mortgage. She's a good person to call. All right, there
I'm
we
not
go.
just a fan. I'm not just a fan. I'm a customer.
The customer, yeah. uh,
That's funny.
so
Wow.
I told you a while back. I was my friend Peter Grace was playing at this place in Clearwater, and I went over with my video camera. But
Peter Grace.
yeah,
Cool name.
it was a cool name. So I videotaped the show, and then he had COVID for a while, and we couldn't get together, whatever. But anyway, finally got together with him this week, and gave him a SD card with the videos. He says, "Man, that's so cool that it comes out that nice. Just a little small camera, it's nothing, and it's just amazing how well it
What
works."
kind of music? What kind of music are they doing? What does Peter play?
Well, he does all kinds of stuff. He plays all kinds of stuff. He's really good, a good guitar player.
Guitar player. Does he have a crybaby pedal? That's all I want to know.
No, he's not a crybaby. He's like anyway. He's, he was playing with this. He was on the electric guitar. As he usually does, you might find this interesting. I saw his studio yesterday at his place. He plays the bass and records it, plays the drums and records it, and then that's his backing track. Is him playing. So then
Oh yeah.
when there's a stage when it's just this lady, him and his electric guitar, and she has an acoustic guitar, and they're playing, but he has a
Ah.
soundtrack that he's playing to that he created himself. He's the one that did it.
So when he's playing live, is he by himself and just playing all those backing tracks?
No, he just puts the track that he plays to is just the drums
I got it.
and the bass,
Yeah.
and then he has but he's the one that played the drums and the bass on the track.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, so it's really cool. And he says, "Man, this is so cool. Like that little camera is amazing."
That reminds me. It's funny. I think I've told you the story, but reminds me of how I got back to becoming a drummer again after a 20-year hiatus. I was out at Joe's house in Huntington Beach years ago now, And he's always been in bands and writing music now more than ever. And this is JD and the Retro Riders, as you know, but he had recorded rhythm tracks. So his buddy on drums and him on bass, they record those tracks. And then he and the guitar player would play guitar live in rehearsal to those recorded rhythm tracks.
Right. Yeah.
So the drum set's there. So there he's playing along, and I jump behind the kit and I start playing along with it. Now there's a drum track I'm playing over, but I'm playing along with him. And that's when he turned me, he's like, when was the last time you did that? And I go, I don't know. It's been a long time, and like 20 years. I mean, I never stopped tapping the steering wheel because we never do. But he's like, you still got this. You got to get back to this. And I was really inspired. And I came home and I bought a drum set, and took lessons, and joined a band. And the rest is history, as they say.
So I have a Line 6 Spider Gem amp.
Yep.
And it has, I think, over 100 songs that are recorded in studios with professional musicians.
Oh,
But they can't call the name of the song, the actual name of the song, because of, so, they name it differently. So you have to figure out what it is, but then you can play with it. It also has a bunch of drum beats. You can pick the drum beat you want. You can even control the tempo. When I started the Oyster Bone, it wasn't Oyster Bone right away. Initially, it was called Tonal
I remember this tonal
Dependency.
dependency.
Tonal.
That's a great name.
Yeah. And so the first 3 gigs that we played, it was the amp. So I'd find the drum beat for Jumpin' Jack Flash or whatever, and I'd write down the number. And I did that for all the songs that we're playing. And then we're playing Jumpin' Jack. I said, hold on, I gotta put that on 92. So I put it on 92, and we started playing with it. It's pretty cool, man.
That is cool. All the pre-recorded tracks in there. I love that name, tonal dependency.
Yeah, it was good, but Oyster Bone was awesome too.
You could start up again and use that name, tonal dependency.
I could.
Yeah, I could.
You never know.
Oh, what's on the agenda for today? What do you got going Sunday afternoon?
I got an open house because that condo that we didn't get the offer that I thought, so it's still available.
Oh, the 1-bedroom on the what a beautiful spot.
It is nice, yeah.
So I hope you get some traffic today. What time is the open house? 12 to 2?
12 to 3.
12 to 3. Get some cheese and crackers going on, or what happens over there?
Huh?
Cheese and crackers? What do you got?
No. The funny thing is, when I do an open house, I have a lot of fun with people that come in. It's just, I can't help myself.
Yeah,
I'm supposed to be showing them the condo, but I'm making them laugh instead.
I'm sure you are. But then people like that puts them in a buying mood.
I told you about that lady that walked in and says, "Oh yeah, I'm looking for a friend." Remember I told you that?
Yes.
And I knew what she meant. She was looking at the condo for a friend.
Right.
But what she said was, "I'm looking for a friend." I says, "Okay, we can work something out. You seem friendly." And then, of course, I kept.
This is how funny you are, because I was thinking, I try to make that funny. So I'm looking for a friend. I always think like, okay, I'll help you look around. Let's look in the closet and this kind of stuff. But you personalize it, which I think is hysterical. We can work something out. I mean, I got a busy schedule. And I got.
Yeah, but yours is funny too. If I said that, I think you might be in the bathroom.
Was she appreciative of your humor? Did she get it?
She was, but at first she wasn't sure how to take it. Then she says, "Oh, I see what you're saying." I says, "Well, you're the one that said you were looking for a friend, so I'm here."
That's right. I'm all set. I'm good. You're the one who's needy.
I said, "But so you'll know, I know hundreds of jokes, so I might be a good friend to have, if you like humor,
I'll keep you laughing. A couple of years anyway."
She was funny then.
So that's what I'm looking for a friend, and the first thing you said was, "We can work something out."
See, I told you this before. A lot of times when people say something, or if I see something, I purposely take it on. What's the word I'm looking for?
Well, yeah, like literally. You're right, exactly.
Yeah, I take it literally, yeah, because if I take things literally,
that's funny.
you can say funny with it.
Looking for a friend. And it's funny, the amount of things that we say every day just because it's the habit of our speech
Right, right.
that aren't meant to be taken literally. There must be dozens of opportunities every day. And in that is some really funny stuff.
I should tell this story about how I was going on I-4, driving from Tampa to Orlando, and halfway down I-4, I saw a sign that said Florida Air Museum, next exit. And I took that literally. I said, "Oh, I'd like to see that. I've never seen one of those."
Wow.
Take the exit, and I follow the signs. I get to the parking lot. There's a building on the ground. And I'm saying,
What a ripoff.
Air Museum, my ass. It's just a regular building on the ground. This is crazy.
Air Museum, my ass.
I'm going towards Orlando now, but now I'm late for my appointments. I'm going fast. And there's a state trooper going the other way towards Tampa, and I'm going towards Orlando. And he flashes lights. I'm like, what the heck are you going to do? Next thing I know, I look at my rearview mirror, and he's going across the median. I said, oh, shoot. So I was hoping I could find an exit so I would lose him or whatever, but there's no exits. And his car was faster than mine.
Imagine that.
So I finally pulled over, and he says, sir, it's 4:55 on a Friday afternoon. I get out in 5 minutes. My
Shift is over.
shift is over.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And today is my anniversary. I told my wife I'd be home in time for us to go for a nice dinner. If you give me one good reason why we're going so fast, maybe I'll let you go, and I don't want to do paperwork. I said, sir, 3 months ago my wife took off with a state trooper. I thought you were him bringing her back. He said, okay, have a nice day.
I thought you were returning her. Ba-dum-bum. Oh, my goodness.
That's crazy stuff, huh?
That's funny. That is funny. How would you like a musical suggestion I came across this week?
Tell me.
So I was listening to this podcast. I'm a big Dream Theater fan.
Yeah.
And there's one Dream Theater podcast called Talking into Infinity. They have an album called Falling into Infinity. It's a really great podcast. And quite frankly, the podcast has kind of brought me back to the music because it's really intense progressive rock music, and it's not background music. You've got to be listening. And the musicianship's incredible. So they got this podcast, and this particular podcast was side projects of the members of Dream Theater. And there's a bunch of them. And so they got talking about the bass player, who is this really quiet guy who's a crazy talented bass player. And I knew about this band. So Ty Tabor's the lead guitar player in King's X, who's one of my favorite bands. And he and the bass player from Dream Theater teamed up with Rod Morgenstein, the drummer from Dixie Dregs and from Winger. Phenomenal drummer. 3-piece. And they had something called Platypus and something called the Jelly Jam in the early 2000s. And the host of this podcast starts talking about the 2016 release from the Jelly Jam. And I had never even knew they did something 10 years later. He goes, that album, Prophet, is amazing. So I went and downloaded it and listened to it. And man, is it spectacular.
Yeah.
3-piece, beautiful rock. Here's what I'll share the picture of it. Jelly Jam, Prophet. That's a cool album.
That's a cool photo. Wow.
That's my music selection for the week. Hey, we can make that a thing in the podcast. Musical selection of the week. We used to talk about other podcasts. We used to do that.
When you say we, are you talking about you and me, or just you? Us or you?
I think I'm talking about you and me as a collective. We used to talk about different podcasts.
It's gonna be a lot of work
to people.
It's gonna be a lot of work for me, I think. I don't know.
There's my musical suggestion of the week. Hey, this is episode 41, isn't it?
41, man, that's crazy.
So I'm a New Yorker. I grew up as a Mets fan. 41, you can't really it just pops up. Tom Seaver, one of the greatest of all time.
Oh.
I was doing a little research this morning. So Tom Seaver joined the Mets in 1967. Of course, in 1969, everyone knows they won the World Series. You got to believe the amazing Mets, the whole thing. He was 25-7 that year pitching for the Mets, which is just not 25 game winners anymore. I mean, that means you start 32 games and you finished 32 games. At least you got they weren't complete games. He also won 311 games in his career. And Justin Verlander, who was just pitching for the Houston Astros and won his first World Series game on Game 5, he was 0-8 in the World Series as a Hall of Famer. Yeah. And he fell apart in Game 1 when the Phillies took the first game. He has a chance to be a 300-game winner. He's got maybe 50 games to go, and he's got a few more years. But the truth is, the way the game has shifted, there won't be another 300-game winner in a career. And Tom Seaver is one of those guys. So here we are, episode 41.
Wow. So if Brady has a good game today, which he should, now that he's not there anymore, he he can make a big record. Out of all the quarterbacks, he's got the most passes that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he can get to 100,000 or something like that if he gets 164 yards today or something like that.
So he's got the potential to set a big record today with a good game. Giselle's going to be sitting in the front row with her boyfriend.
Ouch! Ooh.
Imagine that.
You know, I was saying that mostly to be funny, but it does seem like why wouldn't she let him play for another 2 months? It's all it is. It's 2 months.
There's a lot more going on behind those scenes than you and I are privy to.
Yeah, we don't want to know.
Oh, we don't want to know.
But that doesn't stop us from talking about it.
No, speculating. If we knew the facts, we couldn't speculate. That'd be no fun. So you're right. We don't want to know. We'll just speculate.
Because of that, I actually took all my Victoria's Secret things I used to save. I threw them all out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting as this comes out. You know, this still feels pretty recent, and the divorce is already done. Like, wow.
That's what I'm saying. It was finalized this week, right?
Yeah.
All she had to do was say, "Okay, Tom, I know we got 2 months left. Just go ahead and play. I love you, and I don't want the kids and everything. I don't want to have a divorce, so I'll let you play 2 more months."
You're speculating.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Doesn't make sense to me.
Which leads me to believe there's a lot more going on than meets the eye. But as this starts to get out and they start dating and having other things, it'll be interesting to see where everything goes and who they end up with. And
I don't even know why I brought it up. I just it tweaked me a little.
I would imagine Tom's probably getting paid alimony, right? She makes twice as much as he does. He can't live on his income.
Well, he's not hurting either, buddy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
They're both wealthy individually.
So speaking of wealthy, I was down in Rhode Island a couple of weeks ago for the wedding. Lynn's son, so Sean and Kate got married in Westerly, Rhode Island, at the Westerly Yacht Club. Beautiful spot. And I was just taking a drive one of those mornings because I was, having a breakfast sandwich and driving around. And I've always heard Watch Hill, Rhode Island is this gorgeous, gorgeous place on the coast. And I was right there. So I'm taking a drive and you get out to this like real peninsula thing and you wind around. There's these big houses and they're hidden from the road and it's just spectacular. And you come up to one point in the road where you stop and you got to make a left or a right. And there's a big hotel to your right with a huge awning that comes out. And from where I was in my driver's seat, I couldn't see because the roof of the truck, I couldn't see the name on the building from where I was from the driver's side of the car.
Yeah.
But I made the right turn and then you kind of go around a little bit more. And I went back the next day with Lynn on our way out to show her this area. I remember that hotel because we got to that stop again. And I go, this is a hotel. It doesn't have a name. And she goes, she could read it from the passenger side. And I go, oh, that's funny. So then we made a right-hand turn. And a week later, my buddy Joe, his brother Steve is a helicopter pilot, private corporate guy.
Yeah.
And he sends me a couple pictures that his brother sent him. And he says, "This is Taylor Swift's house." So he shows me this picture. I should show this to you. This actually made the story that much better. So I'm looking at this mansion on the water in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. I didn't know it was Taylor Swift's house until he shows me this. Oh, Taylor Swift. All right. So I'm looking at this and I'm zooming in the picture. And right behind Taylor Swift's house, I see this building I recognize. I go, wait a minute, that's the hotel. And I could tell there was the right turn I was making right there. And I'm like, that is hysterical. Oh, here it is. Look at this. This is Watch Hill.
Wow.
I'm gonna bring this in. So that's Taylor Swift's house. And right behind it is the hotel with the right hand turn I was making the week before. I had no, it's hysterical.
Wow.
So right in your own backyard, celebrities. I heard musically, Taylor Swift this week set a record. Speaking of records, and speaking of records, I would love us to finish our podcast today before Zoom finishes it for us. It's always a good goal.
Well, we can stop it now. We'll definitely be ahead of it. But they already gave us a 10-minute.
Oh, they shut us off last time at 35-ish. We're getting close. Taylor Swift last week had all 10 songs on the top 10 countdown.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
So this,
I mean, I'm not a fan. I don't know her songs except for like Shake It Off, and I don't really do the whole new current pop music, but that's spectacular. You know what happens when you get 10 songs on the top 10? Buy a house like that.
what's that?
You get a free house.
There's a thing that in I can't think of it now, but they do like these. They honor musicians.
Hall of Fame.
No, it's like a place, big theater thing. People go there and watch it.
Oh, yeah. And they always have those kind of shows, I guess.
But there was one day where they were celebrating Buddy Guy and Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
And if you watch that show, I think it's Kennedy,
Oh, the Kennedy Honors, Kennedy Space Center Music Awards.
something like that.
Yep.
If you watch the one what they were doing Led Zeppelin is freaking awesome, man. First of all, they opened up with Taylor singing.
Really?
Yeah, what's his name? Jeez, my
Was Dave Grohl there? He was,
he was on the drums.
and was Zeppelin in the audience up in
Yeah,
the,
and then
that's the one. Is then Jason Bonham was on drums and Hart came out and they did Stairway to
yeah,
Heaven.
yeah,
And Robert Plant is like crying in the, oh my
yeah.
God.
Then they had a choir behind him that finished the song. It was so it
Oh,
was
that was
amazing.
powerful. Yeah, that was powerful, powerful.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of those. There was a great McCartney one. And so then they're in the audience. So McCartney's in the audience and his wife is behind him. And Nancy, she reached forward and hugged him from behind at one point, but they're doing versions of their stuff. It's just fascinating.
yeah, it's
Cool.
amazing.
It's just tribute,
Oh,
tribute. Wow.
it's amazing. I mean, that show is amazing. Hart, those Hart ladies are really, really good. Nancy and Wilson, whatever, what is that name?
Nancy and Ann Wilson.
Ann Wilson, yeah, yeah.
We saw Ann Wilson this year at the Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom. She is phenomenal. So she's 71 years old. She's touring on her own. Ann Wilson. She's got this phenomenal band, like a bunch of young Nashville guys, because they recorded in the studio and they said, "Let's do this." And she's doing Heart. She's doing new stuff. She's doing Zeppelin, Aerosmith. She's 71 and she's crushing it. What a voice!
You ever see that thing with Noonan when he plays that Lucky Strike and that?
Oh yeah, a lot.
You see that with the guitar player from Heart? What's her name? Nancy?
Guitar player. Well, Nancy was one of them, but I don't know the other ones.
Man, or something.
Nancy's a good guitar player.
So he had met her and he says, "Hey, you want to jam?" She goes, "No, I don't want to jam, or whatever." And then she called him up and says, "Hey, I thought about it. I'm going to jam." So she shows up And it was her, and then this other lady that's a singer that has a amazing voice. And Nuno was saying, because her husband was there, with respect, I always had a crush on this lady when I was a kid.
Everybody did.
It was a great show. Wow.
You know what's a great YouTube video? Gretchen Wilson, the country singer?
Oh, yeah.
What a voice. And so she's on stage with, apparently they're all good friends, with Alice in Chains. And they're doing Barracuda by heart.
Wow.
And Nancy Wilson's playing guitar. And Gretchen Wilson, go to YouTube and just type that in. It is unreal.
Well,
plus it's Gretchen Wilson.
I love her videos of Gretchen. There's one where she's riding a four-wheeler in the mud and stuff.
Yep.
I think it's a Redneck Woman or something.
Redneck Woman is the one. Yep. Great video, great tune.
Great video. Then there's one where she's stuck drinking too much at the bar or something. I mean, all her videos are all good. And
she's so fun.
Yeah.
Redneck Woman, who makes a cameo in that, Kid Rock is sitting on the couch in the living room.
Oh, yeah.
As if she's coming home and he's like the slacker husband kind of. He's like, what are you? It's awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man.
Yeah, go check that out. Barracuda, Alice in Chains, Gretchen Wilson, and Nancy Wilson's on guitar. It is spectacular. And Gretchen Wilson's voice, I mean, Ann Wilson's amazing, but Gretchen's, it was incredible.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Turkey Jam in a couple of weeks. I'm psyched for some good music in a couple of weeks.
So lately, they only allow to go about 36 minutes or something. Right now, we're most at 40 minutes.
I know. I think we should wrap it.
We should make the call.
Enjoy your day.
We should beat them at their own game.
Episode 41. Done.
So, this week, I actually called.
Apparently not.
I actually called my friend, my Michael, the guy with the first podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I sincerely wanted to thank him for getting me started with the podcast because I'm having such a good time doing this. And I says, we've done 40 episodes now. He says, well, we did 4. I says, yeah, we did 40. And now we have 41.
Wow. It's awesome. 41 in the books. Shut it down. Have a great day.
You're the best.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Talk to you soon.
Say hi to Lynn.
I will. Take care.
Yeah.